Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are doing fine. Welcome to Tathastu ICS. My name is Pooja Sharma and I am your current affairs and history faculty here. So let's start today's discussion. This is the QR code for the PDF files of these analysis sessions. So you can download PDF files from there. Along with that, you can download PDF files from the description box also. Okay, this is the front page of our newspaper, and on the front page only there is very devastating news that on the New Delhi railway station 18 people actually died due to stampede. So again the similar kind of situation which happened at Mahakumbh happened in the railway station at Delhi as well. So it is again a very failure to our administration. We need to have a concrete strategy how can we manage crowd in general. So let's see which news we are going to cover today. These are the new courses which are starting at Tathastu ICS. Please go through the details if any one of you are interested. Now, these are the news which we are going to cover. In today's newspaper, the most of the news which were important were the articles only, right? So we are going to discuss these 4 news, out of which 3 are articles on your editorial page. The first is the Panchayati Raj movement is in distress. This is an editorial on your main editorial page. And after that, actually this article deals with that in the parliament when we were discussing about the constitution, the passing of the 75 years of constitution, our leader missed to discuss about the Panchayati Raj institution. This is also part of our constitution by the addition from the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act. But the article is actually going to highlight what are the issues which are being faced by the Panchayati Raj institution these days, how the government policies has changed over the time, that there is very less fund that is available with the panchayats and panchayats are losing their power day by day. So this article is actually going to discuss about the issues related to the panchayat or Panchayati Raj institution in our country. Especially it is talking about panchayats, not about the urban local bodies. It is talking about the local bodies at a village level. Now, the second article is related to a transactional turn. We all know that our Prime Minister was in America and the US President Donald Trump and our Prime Minister had a deal, right, just after the second term of Donald Trump, and we have discussed on so many matters. On the light of that only this article is going to tell us there were so many areas which remained uncovered. So here we are going to discuss about what are the areas which remained uncovered, the areas which we did not discuss first of all, and the second thing which this article is going to discuss, this particular one is going to discuss that now in the current scenario when the relation between the USA and India is going to change, given the recent agreements between these two countries, how the dynamics between these two countries are going to change and what India needs to do in such kind of situation. So this article has again 2 parts. The first, what we missed in this particular session with the US President, first thing, and second is what next, what we should do next. The third article is related to the recent Bangladesh-Pakistan ties. We all knew that once upon a time Bangladesh was the part of Pakistan only, and in 1971 after a liberation war against Pakistan only Bangladesh was liberated and India had a major role to play in it. But now again we all know that there was a turmoil in Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina actually she had to flee the country and right now she is in India. Now the political situation in Bangladesh has changed, and from the recent events we can see that the Bangladesh is actually leaning towards Pakistan. So that is not something that is in interest of India, because right now we have the security issue at our western border. But if the Bangladesh is going to be with the Pakistan, then this particular situation can create more problems for us in India's neighborhood. Other than that, this article is also going to discuss that how Bangladesh is dependent on us, whatever our apprehensions are in this regard, that Pakistan and Bangladesh ties are getting stronger day by day. So this article is also going to discuss what are the challenges, okay, which is there on the ties between Bangladesh and Pakistan also, and what is the way forward, what India can do later on, given the situation, what India can do. So that actually matters a lot. How a country that is the largest country in the Southeast Asia, how we need to change our foreign policy or the neighborhood policy so that we should not, you know, get affected by the ties between Bangladesh and Pakistan. Now, okay, so this is the third article we are going to discuss. Then we are going to discuss our fourth news. Fourth news is actually related to the Indian Ocean Conference. So Indian Ocean Conference is right now it is happening in Muscat, Oman. So there the representative of the countries which are surrounding the Indian Oceans are there. Almost 30 countries are there. And obviously India is also there. India's representative as Jaishankar is also there, and there as Jaishankar actually highlighted few things. So we are going to discuss that India's role in Indian Ocean region in general, and what is this Indian Ocean Conference in general. So these are the two important things which we are going to take away from this particular news. Okay, now let's discuss each and every article in detail. The first article is your editorial, that is the Panchayati Raj movement is in distress. Okay, obviously the article is very large and you need not to, you know, read the whole article. I am going to give you the crux of the article which you need to actually focus on, and by this crux you need to understand that how you need to make your notes out of the editorials, right? Now, we all know that recently the 75th anniversary in the parliament was being celebrated, and there were so many discussions, but discussion about the Indian constitution, but they overlooked a governance aspect. But they overlooked means what they missed here when they were discussing about it. They missed the stagnation of the Panchayati Raj movement. Stagnation means there is no further improvement in the Panchayati Raj situation. Whatever the kind of policies there were with the Panchayati Raj, there was not much improvement. So actually the article is basically talking about the why Panchayati Raj institution is in stagnation these days. While the 73rd amendment in 1992 empowered the local self-government at village level through decentralization. Decentralization was the idea, means that the governance should not be concentrated in the hands of few people. Decentralized, for example, our state governments are also part of decentralization, but when we talk about the further decentralization, then the local body comes into the play, and local body is the best example of decentralization, because when it comes to Panchayati Raj institution or the urban local body or the municipality system, the governance is directly in the hand of the people who they are going to govern by themselves only, and that is the true picture of democracy, right? We as a country living in a democratic country. Again, what was the basis of this 73rd amendment, or you can say that the introduction of local governance in our country? First, decentralization, because given the population of our country, and Panchayati Raj was ingrained in India's history as well. Grassroots democracy, it means the democracy at grassroots democracy in the hand of the people, okay, at the local people. And but this decentralization and grassroots democracy is facing systematic challenge today. Okay, so this is the crux of the first part of your article, that what article is trying to say, that how local body, how Panchayati Raj institution has stagnated over years. Now let's understand what are the key issues which are being highlighted by the article. So the first issue that highlighted by the article is that why the Panchayati Raj institution is in stagnation. The first reason is the limited administrative decentralization. We did not give administrative decentralization. Political decentralization is there. Okay, we are choosing the Sarpanch also. So Gram Panchayat head as well. But what is the issue here? Now administrative decentralization is no more there. Who is administrating? Our bureaucracy is there. Okay, you can say that IAS, IPS officers are there, and the whole of the administration are in the hands of the bureaucracy, in India's bureaucracy. And we all know that bureaucracy is there only at state level, and the central level bureaucracy is not there at the Panchayati Raj level. So administrative decentralization is very, very limited. Second, reduce fiscal autonomy with more tight grants. Now the fiscal autonomy means the autonomy related to the spending, related to the money, how the money is going to come, what kind of taxes local body can impose, and how much money they can, you know, collect through the taxes. So, and other than that, the decision making power when it comes to finance, what kind of infrastructure project a panchayat want to have in their own village. So that autonomy is actually not with the panchayats anymore, it is reducing. It was there, it was the actually idea, but it reduced over time, the reason being the more tight grants. Now we have the grants in the directly from the center to the state level through various schemes. So actually article highlighted few schemes also. For example, diminishing the role of panchayats in welfare delivery. Earlier the panchayat was also responsible for welfare delivery, but now we have these direct cash transfers such as PM Kisan. So the farmer or a person from a village is getting the direct money from the center only, from the direct grant. So the role of intermediaries, role of panchayat have diminished. The panchayats fiscal autonomy has reduced over time, and there is very limited administrative decentralization there at the panchayat level. Now, the shift in the policy focus towards the urban area, again this time also in budget you can see that urban area are being more focused. We have so many schemes such as smart cities schemes. So most of the money is actually diverting towards the urban area. The reason behind that, we thought that urban areas are a kind of a epicenter of the development in our country. So because of that, actually we are putting more money to urban area, but that doesn't means that we need to overlook the village, overlook the rural India as well. So these are the key issues which are being highlighted by the article. Let's understand what are the solution which is being given by the article. This is how you are going to make your notes. You are going to make your notes in the phrases and only in line wise. What is the crux of the article you need to write down. Now, to revive the Panchayat Raj system, by what can we do? First of all, we need to promote local participation. Okay, because right now the local participation is not that popular. Yes, the politics at state level is very popular, the politics at central level is very popular. We can see it in our newspaper or in social media every day. But the politics at the village level is not popular at all. If it will not be popular, then the people from different arena are not going to participate in the governance of that level. So first of all, we need to promote it. Second, we need to leverage the technology for citizen engagement. But the very problem why government is giving the direct grants, why we are not relying so much on the panchayats to do the welfare work at the village level, because there is very less connection. India, given a very vast country, the very large and very vast geographical area, it is very difficult for us to micromanage or to know the feedback of the governance at the local level. But what we can do, we can use the technology part, we can use the technology so that we can have better citizen engagement. Then we need to involve panchayat in water conservation. So there are some ideas, how can we involve panchayat? For example, we can involve panchayat in water conservation, we can involve panchayat in renewable energy, we can involve panchayat in disaster management type of activities in a village, right? Okay. Someone is asking the Hindi DNA. Hindi DNA is also there at 10 AM. Okay, the same time Hindi DNA is at the Tathastu Hindi channel, right? All right. Someone is asking, okay, about the stampede. Okay, I will come to that later. First, let's discuss. Let's complete the discussion over this article. The fourth is to develop a renewable vision for the rural governance to bridge the rural-urban divide. So the biggest problem in our country is the divide between the rural areas and the urban areas. We are promoting so much the rural areas, but we need to bridge the gap. That doesn't mean we need to urbanize our villages. Okay, we need to reduce the gap between. Gap means if the urban areas economy is doing good. If their GDP of urban areas are good, then we need to revise the GDP of a rural area as well. Now, so this was the article. Again, the article actually discussed the distress which is being faced by the Panchayati Raj institution. Article, the author actually, a writer gave key issues, what are the issues related to that and what are the solutions related to that. Now let's come to our second article. Second article is the transactional turn. It is regarding the recent talk which had between India and USA. So the article, the first part is actually dealing with what are the agreements which we did with the USA, and the second part is there what next, okay, what we need to do next. So first, let's understand, we all know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was there in Washington to meet US President Donald Trump and focus heavily on basically trade and strategic cooperation. So most of the discussion was actually surrounding either around the trade or the strategic cooperation. In strategic cooperation, the most important area was defense. Most important area was defense. So let's we have already discussed the outcomes, but we are going to repeat that again. So what were the key outcomes of the engagement between India and USA this time? First of all, there was a launch of Mission 500. This phrase is very, very important. This time UPSC can ask it directly in your paper that what is the Mission 500, in which regard it was in use. So there can be a question like that. Now, what is the Mission 500? Targeting $500 billion bilateral trade between India and USA by 2030. So this is the target that we are going to increase our trade. So this is again related to the trade ties. So basically we are going to improve the trade between India and USA in monetary wise. Second, the discussion on a free trade agreement, but it was just a discussion. It was just a discussion. It did not finalize yet. Third, the increased Indian purchase of US energy. We are going to purchase more and more US energy, first of all, and the defense equipment. Okay, we are going to have two kinds of defense equipment. The one is the aircraft, and second one the ocean surveillance aircraft. So two kind of aircraft we are going to purchase from USA. Other than that, there is the introduction of compact. What is compact framework? It is the catalyzing cooperation for military partnership and accelerated commerce technology. So again, it is related to the military partnership, or you can say that defense sector only. Then again, there was another announcement. There is that the Habur Rana, who was the major accused of the 26/11, or you can say that the Bombay attack. So he is going to transfer from the Los Angeles to India. So these were the outcomes of the deal between India and USA this time. But now, so this is the first part of your article. The second part actually deals with that what are the challenges. While the visit projected strong ties and continuity of Indo-Pacific and the Quad, it also highlighted more transactional shift in relation. Now the article is saying that what is the final takeaway of the outcomes of this particular talk. So the article is saying that it is more transactional shift in relation, because now the trade is going to increase. There is a Mission 500, we are going to increase our trade with USA. Other than that, we are going to purchase so many of defense equipment from USA. So now transactionally we are going to improve our relation. So transaction shift is there in the relation. Other than that, more emphasis on economic and defense ties, or you can say that basically the outcomes is related to the trade and the military purchases between two countries. So what are the challenges here? First of all, there can be potential counter tariffs, right? Second, there are immigration issue. Third, there are reciprocal taxes remain unresolved. So these are the area, these are the challenges which are not being touched in this particular talk. We all know that our illegal immigrants are coming to the, so many of them came to Amritsar airport, some of them are coming to Gujarat. So this immigration issue was there, and our Prime Minister was also there, but there was no discussion related to such kind of immigration issues, first of all. Second, we all know that the announcement by Donald Trump before he became president also and after as well, he was saying if India is going to put a particular percentage of tariff in a particular product, then we are going to have the same tariff on the India as well, and it was for all the countries. So it is the counter tariff is also going to is a biggest issue, but there was no discussion on that. There was no discussion on immigration issue, and there was no discussion on reciprocal taxes also. So these issues actually remained unresolved. So the article is saying that now India need to focus on these issues as well, because these are the major challenges between countries, and these challenges are now more profound because our relation between our relation with USA is also being more transactional in nature. So because trade is increasing more and more, so the counter tariff can bother us more than ever in this particular time. Now moving forward, what India need to do? First of all, India must assertively safeguard its strategic and economic interest while navigating the evolving dynamics of this partnership. Yes, the partnership is evolving, it is dynamic, but we as a country, we need to take care of two things. First of all, our own strategic interest and our own economic interest. So at international relation level with every country, we need to focus on our strategic interest and our economic interest. And these days, strategic and economic interests are very much intertwined with each other. They cannot be separated. So this is what India need to do. So this was the crux of your second article. Let's come to the third one. Now third article is the interpreting the recent Bangladesh-Pakistan ties. Now we all know that with Bangladesh our relation was little bit became bitter after the plea of Sheikh Hasina. We all know that Sheikh Hasina is still in India, and there is a new government is going to be there in Bangladesh, not yet, but it will be there, and there are different and there is obviously the image of India has also tarnished in Bangladesh, which we have already seen when the student protests were going on in Bangladesh, that they were looking India in a negative light as well. And it was a popular opinion, but that was not the only opinion of the Bangladeshi. Obviously there are people who are still pro-India and who actually give respect to the liberation war which happened in 1970s. So let's understand this particular article. Now why we are discussing this article, why India is talking about the growing ties between Bangladesh and Pakistan. Actually few things happen. We all know that the legacy of the 1971 liberation war, when Bangladesh separated from Pakistan, has long influenced Dhaka-Islamabad relation. So Dhaka, or you can say that the relation between Bangladesh and Pakistan, so it was very bitter relationship because the Bangladesh was separated from Pakistan only, okay, and it was a kind of a liberation war. Okay. However, recent interaction suggests Bangladesh is rethinking of its foreign policy, particularly with Pakistan, or we can see that the Bangladesh is being seen to lean towards Pakistan as well. Since the fall of Sheikh Hasina's government in August, Bangladesh interim advisor Muhammad Yunus has met with Pakistani Prime Minister. First of all, there was a meeting between Muhammad Yunus and Pakistani Prime Minister several times, while there has been no engagement with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So Muhammad Yunus never even met once with our Prime Minister, but he had several meetings with the Pakistani counterpart in the recent times. So this is one of the indications we can see that Bangladesh is leaning toward Pakistan. Now, what are the recent development? Again, first of all, there is a military cooperation between these two countries. What kind of military cooperation? A high-level military delegation visited Rangpur. Okay, Rangpur is here. You can see that Rangpur is in Bangladesh, and it is very near to our Siliguri corridor. Very near to our. This is our Siliguri corridor. This is our Siliguri corridor. And here is Rangpur in Bangladesh, and Pakistani army, one of the delegation of Pakistani army actually visited here. So this information, this particular visit by the Pakistani military is problematic for us. We need to think about it. Other than that, Bangladesh Army Deputy Chief also visited Rawalpindi. So the Pakistani Army Chief is also visiting Rawalpindi, and Pakistan's military delegation is coming to Bangladesh and coming very near to our border and very near to our chicken neck, right? Now, action, this is the first cooperation. The second cooperation is related to aviation and naval ties. So direct flights between Dhaka and Islamabad has been resumed. Before that there were no direct flights between Pakistan and Bangladesh, but now those flight has been resumed. So we can say that the ties between these two countries are improving. Other than that, Bangladesh also participated in Pakistan's 2025 naval exercise, that is known as Aman, that is deploying a warship more than after a decade. So they are engaging at military level, they are participating in each other's military exercises. Other than that, the military delegation from Pakistan is visiting Bangladesh, very near to our border. Other than that, Bangladeshi military chief was there in Rawalpindi in Pakistan. So again we can see that at military level both countries are having cooperation with each other. But what are the challenges to these deeper ties? It means, can it be possible that they are going to ignore India and have these ties successfully? So let's understand that scenario also. Article is saying that no, it is not very easy for them. First of all, there are historical grievances, because we know that there are many Bangladeshis who still view the 1971 war as central to their national identity. But Pakistan's portrayal of war, Pakistan actually portrayed that this was a fault of India, it was not fault of Pakistan, that why this 1971 war happened. But the Bangladesh at that time was feeling discriminated. There was no representation, there was very less representation at the political level, and there was a difference between the identity also, because they were the Bengali speaking people, and in the Pakistan the majority, the power was held by the Punjabis only. So this was the issue between Pakistan and Bangladesh at that point of time. That's why this war happened. But later there were other atrocities as well. But the Pakistan always portrayed that India was the culprit in the scene. India was the one who actually mediated, and there was a division of the country. But again, there are so many Bangladeshi who still think that 1917 war is a part of their national identity. Other than that, economic and geographical factor, they limit the practical benefit of a closer relationship. Okay, because we know that India as a country, big country, is already there between Pakistan and Bangladesh. So it is very highly unlikely that they are going to have any kind of land trade, because it is not going to be possible for them. So practicality is very less when it comes to transaction between these two countries, right? Because there are economic limit also, and there are geographic limit. Geographic limit, we can say that the India as a big land is between these two countries, and economics, the both country economically are not doing good. Obviously Pakistan is not doing good, and the same is with Bangladesh. Even we are giving aid to Bangladesh to revive its economy. Not only that, Bangladesh is very much dependent on its trade with India. Most of its trade, more than 80% of its trade is with India only. So if it is going to have better ties with Pakistan, it is not going to have the same kind of trade benefit which Bangladesh is having with India. Implications on India. What can be the implication of India? Obviously India sees this development as a part of Pakistan's strategy to counter New Delhi's influence of Bangladesh, especially after Miss Hasina's departure. But situation also unfold alongside India's increasing engagement with the Taliban also, right? So the both are going parallel to each other. Other than that, what are the India's strategic response? What can be India's strategic response? What can we do right now? First of all, we need to recognize the economic ties between Bangladesh and India. Why do we focus so much on the political rivalry between India and Bangladesh? Why don't we focus more on the economic part? For example, when it comes to China, when we take the name of the China, so it is not the border dispute that comes in our mind, it is the economic ties between the China also that comes to our mind. The economic deficit, the trade deficit that we have with China, that also comes to our mind, because it is being highlighted. But when it comes to the relation between India and Bangladesh, we focus more on the political relations, we focus very less on the economic relation. So there is economic ties between India and Bangladesh also need to recognize that, and India should need to worry much about that, because we know that Bangladesh is very much economically dependent on India, with bilateral trade heavily favoring Indian exports only. So Indian exports are there in Bangladesh. Second, we need to monitor security threat first of. Second thing, India must be vigilant about possible military extremist activity in the northeastern part as well. Obviously, we have very much secured our western border, but now we need to do the same thing with our eastern border, especially with the Bangladesh also. And not only in the West Bengal, the extremist activity can be generated in the northeastern part of our country, because there are some extremist tendencies there as well. So there can be, we can have repercussion in the northeastern part. So we need to be more vigilant here. Second thing. Third, we need to strengthen our diplomatic engagement with Bangladesh from our side as well, right? Focusing on people to people ties, we need to focus on cultural exchange, border cooperation, development initiative can reinforce India-Bangladesh ties. So why don't we revive our relationship with Bangladesh as well, so that we need not to face such kind of situation if Pakistan is going to conspire against India. Other than that, address sentiments, we need to address the sentiments. We need to counter the anti-India narrative which is being popular in Bangladesh these days, especially starting from this particular protest, the student protest which was happening. So we need to counter that from all levels. Okay, so these are the solution, or these are the strategic response which India can have of these engagement which are going between between Pakistan and Bangladesh. Let's come to our next news. Next news is related to the 8th India-Ocean Conference that held in Muscat, Oman. Actually, it is being held. It was held in 16th and 17th of February 2021. So it is going to be a 8th meeting, and this meeting is actually being organized by India Foundation. India Foundation, you can understand, it is like of a think tank. Okay? Think tank which actually talk about the foreign policy basically. Okay? So this India Foundation is the one actually started the Indian Ocean Conference in the first place. First conference happened in Singapore. So it was launched by India Foundation only. Please remember, it is not launched by particular. Obviously, India Foundation is a part of, is an Indian agency only. So it started in 2016. Over the past 8 years, it became a key forum of discussing regional issue and the cooperation among the Sagar. Sagar means security and growth for the all the region initiative. So it is actually talking about the countries which are surrounding the Indian Ocean. So the countries which are surrounding the Indian Ocean, so those countries are going to be participatory in this particular conference. The recent one, the 8th one, is happening in Muscat, Oman, and our foreign affairs minister is there. Other than that, the motto or the theme of this time conference is Voyages to New Horizon of Maritime Partnership. So you can just have a look at it even if you don't want to grab it. Now let's understand what was there in the news. Now it was just the background I wanted to tell you about. What is this Indian Ocean Conference? What is the IOC? Is IOC. So now what was the talk? What were the talks that happened at this Indian Ocean Conference? First of all, let's understand what is being said by our minister, that is Mr. S. Jaishankar. Addressing the conference, he actually warned that the significant geopolitical changes in the region due to conflict in West Asia and the tension in the Indo-Pacific, right? First, he highlighted that. Second, he also highlighted India's contribution to regional stability. India also highlighted that it has given $4 billion aid to Sri Lanka, Sri Lanka being one of the Indian Ocean country. Again, India has talked about its vaccine donation in the area and disaster relief effort. He also talked about the commitment of the supporting Sri Lanka's economic recovery with time. Other than that, Iranian foreign ministry also had his speech. He was also one of the speakers. He criticized actually US because Iran, we all know that on Iran there are US sanctions. So he is saying that there is a very maximum pressure policies of USA is there, not only at Iran but at the world level. We can see, particularly concerning the Chabahar port project, where India also have interest, which is crucial for India-Iran cooperation as well. Other than that, what were the other major happened? S. Jaishankar actually met the Bangladeshi foreign minister, Bangladeshi counterpart also there in Muscat to ease the tension between two countries. So this can be seen as one of the way how can we improve our ties with Bangladesh. So these such kind of meeting, okay, such kind of meetings will come under the diplomatic engagement between the two countries or the cooperation between the two countries. Other than that, he engaged with the other foreign ministers of Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Iran, Mauritius. All these countries are the Indian Ocean countries. Almost 30 countries were there present. The talk also emphasized the importance of BIMSTEC, because BIMSTEC is one of the major organization which is common with the Indian Ocean countries as well. To the next summit scheduled in Bangkok from April to 4. Now, in this meeting, in the next BIMSTEC meeting, obviously Bangladeshi Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus is also going to be there, and we are hoping that our Prime Minister is going to have a talk with Mohammad Yunus, and we can actually leave behind the issues which are being highlighted by the ties between India and between Pakistan and Bangladesh. Okay. Now, so this was all about our news. Let's do some questions. So please read the question. Again, very easy question. This question is about Indian Ocean Conference. So first of all, it is launched by India Foundation in 2016 in Maldives. No, it is not correct. In Singapore actually it was launched. That is correct, that it is launched by India Foundation, and it is also correct, it was launched in 2016, but not in Maldives. Second statement, it focuses on promoting regional cooperation under Sagar initiative. Is this correct? Okay, take your time. Take your 1 minute, then you give me answer. D. No, D is not the correct answer. Please read the fourth statement again. Read the fourth statement again. Is it really the theme of 2025 conference? Is it maritime cooperation for regional stability? No, this is not correct. This is also not correct. Yes, B is the answer. Only 2 is correct. Yes, everyone is right. Okay, let's come to our next question. This is the answer I have given. Very easy question. I have already told you such kind of question you can see in your examination this year. Mission 500 recently seen in news is related to what? Okay, Ramakant Moja, you are very much right. It is B is the correct answer here as well. Target of achieving 500 billion bilateral trade by 2030 by India and the United States. Okay, so option B is very much correct. So this was all about today's discussion. These were the important articles. There was another article on text and context page, very basic article. I am suggesting you to read that article as well. Okay. So we can end our session now. Any other question you want to ask me? Just I am giving you a minute. Yes, about stampede, Vikas, you asked with a question. Screen of newspaper blackboard is very small. Look, I am not relying much on what is written in the newspaper, because I am reading the newspaper for you. I am giving you the crux along with that. Test series. You can join Tathastu test series. Okay, so ma'am, did we not have class? No, the class is there in 6 days a week, not on Sundays. Okay, so that's why you could not get classes on Sundays. But don't worry if there are some important articles on Sunday. We try to cover it on Mondays or Tuesdays as well. Okay, so thank you so much. Have a very nice day. Do read newspaper also. Those giving 2025, please study well. This is the high time you need to study. Okay, don't waste your time and have your priorities right. Thank you so much.